I'm clearly not going for the good lighting. Someone's gonna be quick and dirty. Yesterday was my day off. Kinda not really. When you're an actor in Los Angeles, you don't really get a day off. I don't think you do. It was my day off from my survival job, but I had an orientation for a new entertainment job in the morning. I had an audition in the afternoon, and in the middle, I had a voiceover webinar that I was going to attend because uh, keep getting told I need to do voiceover, and I've been trying to do voiceover, and I like it. So I had that, and I had already rescheduled it 3 times because actor in Los Angeles. That was my day. Uh, Entertainment orientation, webinar, audition, and then I can relax with a nice cup of tea at the end. No, wait, I forgot. I had rehearsal for my pirate troupe at the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4. But then the night before, I got an email for another audition that took place 10 minutes before the one I'd already agreed to. And I didn't want to ask to reschedule for this one because I didn't want to risk losing the audition. And I thought, yeah, okay, if I show up early enough and I'm fortunate enough and there's no line there, I can just show up, do the audition, leave early enough to make it to the other one, change into a tuxedo, and pull that off. And that should be simple enough, right? Yeah, that'll totally work. Then I got another audition notice because from a commercial agent. I got to do it. I don't want to let them down. And it's a really good audition. I want to get it. That's an hour into when I'm supposed to be in a different town doing a different job. I can pull this off. That's going to have to be rescheduled. I'm definitely going to this audition, so I'll start prepping for that. I'm going to these 2. I'm going to show up early. I'll make sure that I've got all my costumes, my clothes, my headshots, resumes, that I'll have my scripts all marked up. I will have done my diligence. I will rehearse my material so that I can just show up and go boom, 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 and be out and pull off everything. That's what I did. Kind of not really. So in the morning, I got up, I grabbed what I needed to do, I went into the audition, and I was very fortunate that it was fairly quick and easy. Like I got to the building, I signed in, I went over my stuff, they called me in, I read my piece. I'm very happy with the choices I made. I think I did a pretty darn good job, but we'll see. That's just the nature of the game. And I got home in time to make a sandwich. And so I got to eat lunch before the webinar, and I managed to have enough time where I could set up this chair and my laptop and my microphone and my notepad and attend the webinar and get some good information out of it. And that was done. It was like, okay, time to change into outfit number 2 and head to audition number 2. So I did that. I grabbed my next stuff, went to that audition, and I was super fortunate. I got there plenty early. I changed, yeah, I was already in the outfit. So I got in, I signed in, there wasn't many people waiting. I went in, we did one quick take. Everyone seemed happy with it, and I was already on to the next thing. So the third audition wasn't terribly far away, so I went there, and I'll admit, I was about 5 minutes late. But it was okay, because I had, by this point, messaged them and said, hey, this is what's going on. I'm sorry, I'll get there as soon as I can, but there's a chance I could be late. And I was. But when I got there, the building didn't exist. So there was 5816, 5820, and I was looking for 5818, which was not there. So unless there was some like straight up wizard cloaking going on, hiding this building from me, I couldn't find it. After wandering around a little bit and poking my head into a chiropractor's office by accident, I determined that I was given the wrong address, and I couldn't go up and down this giant street, trying to figure out which number off they were, and so I emailed them, and they weren't responding to that, and I eventually just called it a bust. I missed out. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. But it was time to take it easy. I promised a friend I'd meet up for coffee and tea, and I really wanted that tea after the day I had. So I did that, went to rehearsal, came home, and found yet another email from my commercial agent. This is super exciting. This was another big one, and the clients wanted the actors to know the script, be off book, and be confident about it. And it was a very technically jargon-heavy one. I spent all my day today preparing for that, making sure I had the script down, and I had it down. I was so ready for this. I dressed up in my business executive finest. I drove 30 miles through Los Angeles rush hour traffic on a Friday afternoon to get to Santa Monica and do this thing. I walk in, and there was no one there. And I was flabbergasted yet again. I went back into my emails and I looked it up, and this time it was my mistake. My agent had sent me the email earlier in the day when I was doing the webinar, and because I was so focused on my other two auditions, I didn't get it until later that night. I got it up, I confirmed it, I downloaded the script and printed it out, and I did all that stuff, and I didn't see that it was I got my numbers off, and I was looking at the wrong day. So essentially I just wasted my entire day, but that's not what upsets me. I don't like missing out on opportunities, and I really don't like letting people down. My agents, they work hard to book me these grand opportunities, and I don't want to miss them, and I don't want to blow it for them either. I don't want their day to be wasted. So I was really bummed about it. I mean, I devoted my whole day to that, and I suddenly didn't know what to do except drive back another 30 miles through rush hour traffic to get home and finally get something to eat. I hate missing out on things. I hate letting people down, which is why I was so determined to have that coffee and tea with my friend who I promised I would do that for months. And I finally did. And at the same time, like, if I didn't have tea with my friend, I would have seen the audition notice, and it would have been 20 minutes before I was scheduled to be there. But, I could have changed outfits and shown up 5 minutes late again and hoped for the best again, and it could have worked out. But my roommate this morning, completely coincidentally, he's an actor, and he's also one of the hardest working people I know, and he's like super multi-talented, and he's always doing stuff, and he asked me, how do you do it? How do you juggle work, being an actor, all this stuff you're doing? And I told him, well, it takes practice. I mean, since college, I've had conflicting job schedules and had to constantly rearrange stuff, and I wasn't really good at it back then. I'm much better now. When I got that audition notice for the one today, like, I had to call my coworkers and ask if anybody could take my shift so that I could get out of that conflict to make this audition. I'm always having to do that, and I keep thinking I'm pulling it off, but clearly I still need to practice. I still haven't eaten either. Nor have I done today's audition notices. I have to go through all of my emails and submit to all these auditions and hope to book things because I don't get a day off. I'm constantly trying to work on the next thing and get the next job. I think I'm still technically signed with my agency, and so I just have to keep working and keep at it. So that's I guess what I'll tell my roommate and anybody else thinking about being an actor. And I can't pull off everything as hard as I try, but now that I'm back home with my laptop, I gotta keep on submitting, keep on booking those auditions, and keep on trying. Eventually I'll land one, and then I'll have to rearrange my entire schedule. I really need to eat something.